any symbols.
No, I just can't.
Okay, well,
Oh, okay, so we're recording now.
okay, see, that's me. See? You sound like a dying pterodactyl.
You're a dying pterodactyl. Okay, so, welcome back to Concussion Media. I am Mac. I'm here with as always, with my great, fantastic friend, Forrest. And, we had some technical difficulties with the camera when we were setting up. So it's going to be a pure audio podcast for this.
Just for your imagination.
Yep. Sorry, I've been a little inactive on the channel lately. We were working on a massive project, and that it took completely all of my time. I'm just now getting back into the swing of things. Sorry about that. That is why we've been inactive. But we just went and saw Uncut Gems, the Adam Sandler film.
Yes, Sandman has delivered a drama instead of a comedy.
So, the number one question I want to ask you, based on our conversations before this, is, were you able to take him seriously?
Yeah. I was able to take his character seriously. I was very skeptical about, like, him being, the well-known comedian he is, like, pulling off a very drama character. I say he did a good job. I think this is one of his best performances.
Oh, 120%.
Absolutely.
He really kind of killed it.
He really pulled it off.
100% agree. This is definitely up there in terms of his best performances. He was very believable in his actions and how I felt about him. So definitely one of the best performances that I've seen him do.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was that movie was an experience, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely. Opening credits was very interesting. Without going into spoilers, but it did pull off some cool camera effects.
There's a lot of things I want to talk about that are spoilers.
However, I will say, if I might just give a very brief summary on what this movie is about.
So the thing that me and Forrest both agree on, that when we saw the trailer for this film, is that it's not a very good trailer. It leaves you not knowing what the movie is, and it made us very skeptical about the flow of this film. And but basically, the non-spoiler version of what this film is there's Adam Sandler's character. He basically borrows other people's money to make bets to get that money back and to make profit for himself. And it's and it's a cycle, basically.
Yeah. So definitely he is the owner of a jeweler store.
Yeah.
But he has this sick disease of basically a gambling problem.
Yeah, he's a hardcore gambling addiction.
And bad addiction, and it just as the movie unfolds, it's just chaotic, and the chaos that follows.
Yeah, if I had to describe this film in one word, it would be anxiety-inducing.
That's 2 words.
Whatever. Anxiety equals this film. No, this was a anxiety-inducing film, and the entire way through, it was it had me shifting in my seat, and it's like a 2.5 hour movie, right? It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's over 2 hours.
I have a computer in front of me for once, so I can actually look it up.
For me, the number one emotion that I felt in one word for this movie was disgusted. I hated his character so much.
You were disgusted by him, or by the movie?
The character. I was disgusted.
Yeah, he was an asshole.
I did not give a crap.
He was an idiot. I
did not give one inkling of. I didn't care about him. I hated him, and that's something I liked about this movie, is that it stirred up so much emotion to hate this character, which is something I don't really have that often when watching a movie. Or depending, like, you know.
What happened last night when we saw Midsummer? You hated the boyfriend.
Wait, what about Midsummer?
We saw Midsummer last night.
Yes, we did.
That was also an experience, but we both hated the boyfriend of Danny's character.
I guess you should rephrase. I guess it's been a while since I've hated the lead character in a movie.
Oh, the lead, yeah.
The lead character. And I was just disgusted at this character.
He was he was sleazy. 100% sleazy.
First off, he looks disgusting. And I think that was meant to be like, he's got this nasty goatee. He's got super greasy hair. He seems like he's sweating everywhere. And he just looks. He's got these stupid shades on or glasses on. And he just looks.
Wow, they really got to you.
He just looks disgusting.
You're really upset. I didn't think he looked disgusting or anything. So I thought he kind of looked he looked the part for sure for the type of person they were trying to do, which is like a jeweler he's a gambler. And Adam Sandler did a good job, is what you're saying, and then the wardrobe did a good job of convincingly playing this part.
This guy is an asshole.
Yeah, basically, and
he is a dick, cheating asshole.
Was he cheating on her? They were like separated, or like they were like separated the whole time. Did he cheat? Was he?
Well, I guess we'll get into spoilers about that.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, I thought the casting and the acting in this was actually really fantastic.
Yeah.
And just the overall atmosphere, everything about this film is just very well done. The acting, the tone that they create, the soundtrack was good, but also weird at the same time.
Yeah. There are some songs, I'm like, this doesn't really fit this kind of movie.
That's what I was thinking too.
Especially during opening and closing credits. It was like, this music doesn't really belong in this film. Like,
yeah, I thought the end credits were weird. I was like, wait a minute, are we in Blade Runner right now?
I was like, are we watching Ad Astra? Like,
yeah, this is the Ad Astra soundtrack got thrown in here. One problem I did have with this movie was there were so many basic solutions to the plot, and it just keeps. So there was a lot of plot holes. You're thinking?
Well, I mean, for the main plot, it just seems like he kept, just pushing the limits of just like simply fixing the plot.
There was one thing that I had a problem with. It's a spoiler, so I'm going to talk about it in spoilers. But it was a main thing that kept happening, like with the characters. And I don't know if this was just because if this were to happen that there would be no plot, or if this is just how these characters' personalities all were conveniently. But there was one major problem that I had that I think would have fixed a lot of the things that was wrong with the plot. But yeah, I'm gonna get into that on spoilers. And it's 2 hours and 15 minutes, by the way, runtime. But it felt like it was like 2.5 hours long because it was just, yeah, that.
You know, I didn't know. So we're watching the movie, and I feel like it wasn't it wasn't for a while that I even understood what the heck is going on. What the heck is this movie about? Oh, did you have that same problem?
No, I knew what it was. I knew it was about. Basically right away. I knew he was trying to get. Like when he basically, I figured out what was happening within the first like 25 minutes. But what the movie didn't do is I thought that what happens. There's something that happens in the first 25 minutes. And this isn't like a spoiler or anything. It's just like this is an observation more of anything. Because the screenplay for this is actually, the story is fairly fluid and complex for like the amount of things that are happening. And there's something that happens in like the first like half And I'm like, or like the first, like, yeah, it's like 25 minutes. And I'm like, okay, so this is what the film's going to be about now. It's going to be doing this one thing, and it's going to be doing this one thing and doing this. And then that doesn't end up happening. And I was just like, oh, okay, so that's not how this film's going to go. It's not predictable. Like, I thought, like, I predicted this thing to happen, and like other movies would probably just done this one thing, but they decided to make it very... It's hard to talk about without spoiling it, but I was impressed at where the screenplay kind of went, instead of just being like a really simple, easy, like not even no effort movie.
Yeah, I agree. There was, good complexity. Is there were some plot holes, and then there were just some things that just never really get explained.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask you what in spoilers because I'm curious. Oh yeah, by the way, I hope you guys all had a good Christmas. We're here on New Year's right now. Well, it's not New Year's yet, but
it's New Year's Eve. It is currently 9:50 p.m. So, in less than 3 hours,
got some fireworks going on.
We'll be in the future.
That's right.
A new decade.
2020 vision.
A new era.
That's right. Okay, so I thought Sandler did an incredible performance. All of the cast was extraordinarily well casted and very believable. I hated his kids. His kids annoyed me.
They're the best part.
No, they annoyed me so much.
Really?
Yeah.
They annoyed you that bad?
I hated his kids more than I hated him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I am surprised. I mean, granted, the kids were pretty annoying, but...
They were just brats, and
wow.
I don't like brats.
Okay.
Basically, yeah. I thought that was it. One of the things I did notice is, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, so I think I'm just going to save it for then. But is there anything else you want to add to this film before we go kind of into ratings? Or, I mean,
yeah,
I feel like there's something that we're not talking about that we...
I feel like there was a lot of hype for this movie. A lot of people were saying it's just a freaking awesome movie. You have to see it.
Yeah, I
feel like I was underwhelmed. I was like, okay, I mean, granted, I think it was one of his best performances. It was entertaining, but it wasn't what I thought was like it's all hyped up to be.
Yeah, so I'm friends with a couple of like film people because I'm a film major, and I'm looking at all of their lists for their top 10 movies of the year, and this is coming in like their third favorite, and it's on like every list I've looked at for like the top 10. And it's usually like fairly high up on the list for like every single person I've seen it, and so I'm coming in here and I'm expecting this movie to be like, I didn't have like expectations, but I was like when I was like watching it, I was just like, this is not like the greatest movie of the year, like not even close.
I wouldn't even put it in my top 10.
Yeah, this is, I think, because I liked Us better than this. I think I liked Us better than this. I think this will come just outside of my top 10, I believe. But all right, so times for ratings now. I agree with you. I was underwhelmed. The expectations and hype of this movie was ridiculous, and don't get me wrong, it's good. It just wasn't that great. So, time for the ratings, and I'm gonna let you go first because I really want to hear what you have to say on that.
All right. Well, ratings wise, I feel like it had a lot of potential to be something better.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree. It was one of Adam Sandler's best performances.
Mm-hmm.
And but there were some things that just kind of fell flat for me. Things that were just kind of rushed, and I feel it is above average. I'll give it a solid 6.
Wow, a 6. Oh my gosh, you're so harsh. A 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Okay, and spoilers, you're gonna have to tell me like what it did wrong, like is it just story wise? Like this the screenplay that was off.
I think it's probably story, some characters.
Okay, so it was some character issues that you had.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give it an 8.
Okay.
I'm giving it an 8. Yeah. I'm giving it an 8 because everything was extraordinarily believable. It was very intense, and it did and the ending. I don't even want to talk about the ending, but it ends. It has a great ending to the story, and I thought that was fantastic. And yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8. Just the characters were fantastic. There was some, if it tightened some things up a little bit, it would be a 9 for me. But honestly, yeah, it's just an 8 out of 10. It's it was a very good movie.
Yeah, I know that some of the people in your film class are gonna probably hate on me for it, but
That's whatever.
I was like, look, I'm honest about it.
Oh yeah, be true to yourself at all times. Oh my God, I don't even know how so I don't think I'm ever gonna watch that movie again.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would you give it an 8?
Because it was so it was a good movie. It was a great 8 is a great movie, right? It was a great movie, and I enjoyed it, but it was also very bad for my anxiety the whole time I was watching it. So it just I had to be like I had to like really get like relaxed or something, like smoke a cigar or something, get really like get my mind other places, and to like watch that film, and then I'd be okay. But yeah, it was a very good movie. But that's why it was just really anxiety inducing. So
Yeah.
So it was just hard to sit through.
That's understandable. Absolutely.
Yeah. So is there anything you want to say before going to spoilers?
I mean, if you want to see a very in-your-face, intense movie, and you want to see
about gambling too, it's like
it's definitely about gambling addiction, and I do recommend it if you're a fan of Adam Sandler, or if you're not, and to give him a chance to see him do one of his best performances ever, then yeah, I recommend it.
I recommend it too. Honestly, I think this is a movie you should see.
But if those things are not things that you're not interested in, then you're okay without seeing it.
Did you like this better than Knives Out?
No, I liked Knives Out. I think I gave Knives Out like a 7.5.
Okay.
Definitely Knives Out was much better.
Okay.
In my opinion. But so we're going to move to spoilers.
Yes, we're going to spoilers. So if you are planning on seeing this movie, which I wholeheartedly recommend, then please go leave the video now. But if not, please stick around. We're going to be talking the spoilers, some of the things that we thought this film could have done better, and some of the plot holes that we were talking about. And Forrest is going to need to explain why he gave this a 6 out of 10, because I'm like really wondering why. So.
Oh, yes.
All right. So, yeah, now's a chance. Get out of here. Spoilers!
Oh, my ears.
I just peeked the mic. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry.
You have to put like a warning.
Sorry. Well, I
headphones.
can. I can limit it so it's not so loud. But
Whatever you live, they live.
that's right.
Authentic.
That's right. Authentic.
Authenticity.
Authenticity.
I love that. Okay.
My car's authentic, 100%.
Yeah.
Same year as the
That
car.
black tar heroin's authentic.
That's right.
All right. Sorry getting sidetracked there. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I really want you to explain to me why this is a 6 out of 10. Because I'm like because I completely disagree. I think it's I told you why. I think it's an 8.
Okay. Number one, there was almost every minute had like yelling. It was just so much yelling, and
that was his character though. Like that was his thing.
But like a lot of the characters were full of like yelling.
Is it just because they were from?
No.
They're from New York?
I mean,
is that what they were going for?
No, because I've seen other movies where people from New York, and yeah, they yell, but not all the time. And I understand, like, it's a very powerful way to, like, bring out different emotions, anger, sadness, excitement, all those things. But you can also still do the same thing with how people's eyes look, their tone of their voice. There wasn't, like, a lot of tone of voice. So at times I'm like, is he being excited or is he angry? Because you can't, sometimes I couldn't, like, differentiate, you know? And I think, like...
He was very hard to read.
That's what I'm saying.
He was actually
feeling. If he just yells all the freaking time, you're like, is this good news? Is this bad news? Is he pissed? Is he happy? You know?
I think that was part of the thing, though. That was his character, and I think I accepted it.
And it wasn't just his character, though. I mean, there were others where, they might not yell as much. A lot of people just yelled a lot.
I do agree that everyone was yelling,
and
that's actually one of the problems I'm going to bring up on what
it was. I understand about having yelling. I just think it was overdone. Like for example, I'm just going to throw this out there. This person was not in the movie. Robert De Niro, because I just bring him up because he's in mobster movies.
Yeah.
He's really easy to read whether he's yelling or when he's not. You know?
I just think that the hard to read thing is what they were going for.
Yeah, and for me, it didn't work with me.
And that's why I'm not counting it as a fault for the film.
Well, I didn't like it. I thought it was overdone with all the yelling. And
so did you not like the yelling, or did you not like that they talked over each other?
I don't mind the talking over each other because that's like,
because that happens.
Because it happens. That's a real life situation. I just feel like it was a bit overdone, especially like phone calls and stuff like that. Like anytime he had the phone, it was just screaming.
Well, he was extraordinarily stressed out.
He
were you watching everything that was happening around him? Like the amount of things that had to go right for this to work was like astronomical. Like he pawned the ring, and then did this big bet. That bet was then canceled, and then oh my God, just the amount of things that were happening, and then you're like, okay, it's gonna go right, and then it goes wrong, and then he has a big breakdown in the end about it. So I'm like, I understand why he was yelling all the time because he was so stressed out. Like he was like the amount of pressure that was building on him, and it kept going wrong. Yeah, my God.
Yeah. So, did I might have missed it, but was it ever explained why he owed Antonio money?
I'm assuming it was gambling.
I was thinking
related.
I think it was just kind of the same thing, and they were trying to catch him before he did it again once he got the money he owed them.
That was the weaker part. Okay, so I'm gonna bring up why the biggest problem I had with the film.
Okay.
There was the amount of actual cohesive conversations between characters was 3. It felt like the amount of actual conversations being had weren't happening throughout the entire film. People, all the characters had the worst communication skills I've ever seen, and I
absolutely agree.
They were all horrible, and a lot of the stuff would have been solved if they sat down and had a conversation.
Yeah.
And even when the very end,
a good movie about miscommunication
This is literally a movie about miscommunication.
or no communication.
It's no
about
communication,
no
and-
communication.
and gambling.
Not
And
even
that's
about
what-
miscommunication. It's about no communication.
No communication and gambling, and that's what this film is. And it just kept annoying me that like the lack of communication that was happening, and it was just like, what is going on right now?
Especially between Julia and his wife.
And no, it's what's his name? Howie. That his name? Howie.
Howie.
It was Howie Ratner.
That's what his name was. Yeah, Howard Ratner.
Howard Ratner, and yeah, just him with everybody, every single person. And he's wondering why it's so hard. It's like because you can't talk to anybody. Like no one knows what you're talking about the entire time you talk. And yeah, I was like, wow, they could have fixed a lot of this if these characters had conversations. But then the screenplay would fall apart, wouldn't it? Yep. But I had to suspend my disbelief and just say like, okay, these are the characters, and because they were fairly. Even the lack of communication, they were pretty well-rounded characters, and they felt like real people. But it was just, I don't know. That kept annoying me that none of the characters could talk. I just wish they had a few characters that actually could talk to each other, like actually talk to each other. It was really annoying.
One thing I thought was interesting. I did like Arno's character.
Who?
Arno. That was a guy like he owed money to.
Oh, him. I didn't. You liked him?
Well, I thought like how he was portrayed was good. Yeah, you're not supposed to like him, but
I didn't like him, but he wasn't anything to me. He was just cardboard.
yeah. And one thing I didn't, and here's one thing like I didn't quite understand about this Arno character, which bugs me, is that so he has these two henchmen, right?
That he had no control over at all.
I was like, at first, like in the beginning, I'm like, oh, like, all right, like he's their boss. It's like maybe like a mob family.
That's what I thought it was too. I think they should have kept that.
But then it looks like they were just more like mercenaries, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, and I didn't like that. I was like, why would or again, he's just another idiotic.
Yeah, I was like, who is this guy?
Like, who is this guy? Who are these henchmen? And why are these henchmen Irish? Or like, why? I was like, why would you have? I mean,
I don't think that last part actually doesn't actually matter.
I don't know.
But no, it was stupid the way that they portrayed the guy that he owed money, because he was like his brother-in-law, and they're acting like he's this big mob boss.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
And like, but he wasn't, and it was. If he was, I wish they made him. They showed that he was, and that he was actually like doing things.
So like, he was just like, hey, or that he was just stupid and underestimated like what they expected, or maybe he didn't know what.
They should have like made him do more things.
Yeah.
Because like when they showed him in the first part of the film, like the first like half,
You have no idea who this guy is.
he had no idea who this guy was, and he was like, "Yeah, stop saying my name," and he had all these guys doing stuff for him, and then he just like lost all of his power like halfway through, like he was some schmuck, like he was just like some chump,
Yeah. And he just gets totally
and then
ripped off.
God, it was just, and then that one loose cannon of a henchman.
Oh yeah, that was.
So we got all right. So in the film, every single move that he makes is like as a chance. It's just completely chance.
Chance to fix it. Chance to fix it. Chance.
Yeah, and it's like,
And he's always going the complete opposite direction. Like,
yeah.
I want to take my chances. I want to take my chances. I can fix this. I can fix this. And you're like,
Well,
no.
he was right on the ball a couple of times. It's just outside forces kind of intervened at that point. Like Arno coming in and stopping the bet, which can you do that? Is that even possible? Can you stop other people's bets?
Once they're placed,
Yeah, I don't think you can.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really know anything about betting, but I'm like, why would you do that? And yeah, it's just, if Howard's character wasn't such an idiot the entire movie, yeah, none of this would have happened. This is everything that happened was all his fault.
Absolutely.
Like I didn't like. They kind of tried to like I understand the strain he was in, but like that was all because of him. Like he caused everything in the movie that happened to happen.
Especially like when Kevin Garnett has the money and they do the proper transaction, and then it just falls apart. And he's like, I'm going to bet this money.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, what? No.
Which he wins. I will give him credit that he actually won that bet and got like $1 million. And so props to him for that. But honestly, the amount of people, like, because he's also like a con artist, like selling people like fake Rolexes and like, 'cause that's what he does. He takes something and then he sells it for more than it actually is.
Yeah.
And that's probably why he talks the way he does. Like you can't understand like really anything he's saying. He's not a straightforward talker. He doesn't shoot straight, if you know what I mean, when it comes to conversation. And like that's how he gets away with what he does. So in a way that was good on them. But all right, so now we have to talk about the ending of the film, because I'm not going to lie, when it happened, my jaw hit the floor. I was extraordinarily shocked.
Oh yeah, no one saw that bullet flying.
I didn't, and I thought that the other guy might shoot him through the glass. But okay, so here's what happened. If you have been listening this far and want to like leave, now's your chance, because I'm about to talk about the ending, and that was like, oh man, that ending was powerful. So Adam Sandler's character, Howard Ratner, he has a little buzzer in his shop. You have to buzz him in and out because it's jewelry. So he traps Arno and his men in the little buzzer room. There's 3 of them. They're all waiting in there, and then they watch the basketball game play out. And it's like this long drawn out thing of who's going to win the basketball game. Is he going to be able to complete it to get all the money back to pay back Arno finally? And when he does, like they win the game, and they won all that money. And they buzz him out, and the guy walks over to him and he goes, it's like, all right, you made your point. Like, yeah. And then he shoots him in the head. And then Adam Sandler character is dead. Just on the ground. Just super suddenly, just boom, headshot. Arno's like very distraught over it, and the loose cannon guy starts kind of like, he has like the gun to his head, and he's kind of like throwing him around. Arno's trying to leave, but the buzzer doesn't work. And he kills Arno too.
Yeah.
And then they break, this like montage happens of like stuff happening, and like they break all of his stuff, and they steal like all of his jewels because he has a jewelry store. And yeah, that part of the film, like that made my jaw hit the floor when he got killed, and then they killed Arno as well.
Yeah.
And because they're family, they're brother-in-law. They had like a Passover dinner, and they were both there. And yeah, that stuck with me for a good minute.
Yep.
How'd you feel about the ending?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was interesting that it was Goomba had the winnings, and yeah, and it was just kind of like left open ended, like, you know. Yeah, she gets away. The henchmen don't catch her. Yep.
His okay. We gotta talk about the side. His like, I don't know.
His mistress.
His mistress. So it's kind of implied that he cheated on his wife with her when they're in the conversation that he has with his wife, when he was like, I'm done with her. Because like it becomes clear through like the dialogue is very like as much as all right, so the dialogue is well written, but it's purposefully done so that the characters have horrible conversational skills. Like every character, like specifically Howard's character is horrible at conversation, but it's written in that way on purpose.
Yeah.
And it's kind of implied that it's implied that like they're separated and that they're actually going to tell the kids that they're divorced, like they're actually going to go through with the divorce at a certain point. And so it's kind of implied that he's cheated on her, but anyway, back to the ending. His mistress, he asks his mistress go and get the money, place the bet, and she does, and she wins. And yeah, she gets away, and he's dead.
Yeah.
That was very shocking to me. I didn't think he was going to get killed like that.
Well, he did.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he didn't have a gun, to be completely honest. You figured
You would think if you're in that line of work,
that he would have a gun.
yeah, that was like halfway through the film. I'm like, if you're in this line of work, why wouldn't you be packing?
Like, I thought he was going to have a gun, to be completely honest.
Or also to be also completely honest, if you're a con man and you're a jeweler, I think you can afford some security.
Yeah, especially for like what he was like. Yeah, stop buying Gucci, everything Gucci, and get some like people around you that like can protect you.
Yeah, he's got like $500 shirts lying around.
Yeah, I know. Like he gets money and he blows it, and that's like his whole thing. And the thing is that he could like back out anytime because like this isn't like some poor guy. He's got a nice house. He's paying for the apartment for his mistress. He can afford all this stuff. like he has money.
He has
like,
money. He's not suffering. He
No.
just has a really bad gambling addiction and is running a corrupt business.
Yeah, and yeah, man. That it definitely left an impression on me, which is why, and like it does a lot of really like good things, which is why I'm giving it an 8. But yeah, I think I'm good. Is there anything else you want to mention?
No, I just hope I came across successfully on this too. I gave it a 6.
Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, I think that wraps it up.
Yeah. Thank you for listening. Actually, this time because what?
Thank you for listening.
Oh, thank you for listening. Little technical difficulties on our end. Excuse me. Yeah, we'll see you guys on the next. Oh, excuse me.
We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, we'll see you guys on the next movie that we do. We're actually probably going to be doing a special video in like the next couple of weeks, just talking about our top 10 movies. I might bring some friends on that might be showing up again in the future. But yeah, so look forward to that video. We're going to be talking about our top 10 movies of the year that we each have, and why exactly, and then how that list actually ranks and things. But thank you so much for watching, commenting, and subscribing. And yeah, we're going to hopefully be getting these on Spotify soon. So then you can have access to all of it when you're on the go and all that. So thank you guys so much. See you guys in the next video /thing. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.